Well, good evening, West Ham fans. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well, and welcome to another edition of Hammers Headlines in Association with the KUMB.com boys. As we do the night before the European Games, we do the David Moyes press conference, and it's just finished. David Moyes for the European Games is joined by a first-team player, unsurprisingly, being in Greece, being the fact we only have one ever Greek footballer. Dinos Mavropanos was joined by David Moyes for the press conference. To be perfectly honest, there wasn't a lot of interesting stuff about team news or anything like that. It was all about the experience of playing in Greece and playing against Olympiacos and stuff. As I said to Dimitri from Gate 7 International this morning, the Olympiacos fan, we've had a bit of a bum deal, I think, in terms of the group stages. We haven't had any glamour ties in the group stages for either Europa League run or indeed the conference run. And arguably, Olympiacos are probably our biggest opponents, I think, in our 3 years in terms of the group stages. So it's really, really exciting. And obviously lots of people over there very, very jealous of all of you, and have a safe journey out there, and keep an eye on each other as you always do. Right, let's get straight into it. Let's go and talk about let's bring it up there. So in terms of Dino was interviewed first, and firstly asked about being back on home soil, and he said it's good to be back, and we're going to play a very good team. I'm looking forward to it. Asked about his time leaving Greece as a child as a youngster before playing for Arsenal. He goes, the first month was very difficult, of course, but it was a good move for my career. It was good for me to work with Arsene Wenger at Arsenal. It helped me a lot, as did the other players, and it was a good move for me. It was my target for me to come back to the Premier League, and I'm proud to be at West Ham. Asked about his how he's settling into life at West Ham. He said, I did have to think about joining the club. It was a big move for me. It's good to be working with David Moyes, and he helps me a lot, and I like working with him, which is nice to see. Asked about obviously Olympiacos, obviously the opponents tomorrow. Don't forget 5:45 kickoff in the UK. Says they have some good individual players and they are really good on their counter attack. They have some points but that we have to take care of. It'll be a tough game tomorrow. We want to follow our plan. We have a good team and a tall team, and set pieces are part of that in terms of making goals. We've seen that already this season, and I think it'll be part of our game plan tomorrow. So unsurprisingly, it will be set plays. So does that mean James Ward-Prowse will be playing? Quite possibly. That's part of our game plan, giving that away somewhat. Obviously, we come off the back of a poor game against Villa, and Dinos was asked about that, and he basically said. He basically did this. He went, in terms of the game, for the game against Aston Villa, it was a bad day, or the office, against a good team. But our schedule was really busy, so we need to learn from it and start to focus on this game. We've been doing that. We're here. We've worked hard, and we're looking forward to the match. And I think a lot of people are looking forward to the match. I think it's going to be a really interesting match. I think it's going to be a very tough game. I think we're going to be going against favourites, but as Demetrius said from Gate 7 International, they generally believe they should have got 6 points out of the last 2 games, and they should be joint top with us. So I think they'll be playing for playing for all 3 points. As I said, they're sort of, the league is, they're sort of expected to be first or second in the league, and obviously they have the playoff system, so they don't necessarily win the league if you finish first or second. But yeah, it's all about the Europa League, all about Europe for them. So there'll be a tough cookie to crumble. That was it. Dinos was done. Moved on to Moisey. Moisey's first question was about the general love of football in Greece and whether he was looking forward to playing in Greece. And he says they're an enthusiastic, great support here, fantastic enthusiasm. It's a fantastic to come to a football city where the football city is. You want the passion, but you also want good behaviour. It's a big game, but it's important that everyone works together to make sure everyone has a good night. And obviously, we have the reports of us having a police chaperone for most of the time out there for the fan base, so hopefully that will take care of that. Obviously, Olympiacos had their tie against Panathinaikos in the league suspended. It was cancelled. It was after crowd trouble after 50 odd minutes, 1-1, when the flare or firework was thrown at by an Olympiacos fan at a Panathinaikos sub. And asked about the Europa League, obviously winning the Europa Conference League. Will we taking that experience into our sort of Europa League journey, so to speak? It's a question that comes up quite a lot. He was asked about that, and he just said, in terms of the questions itself, he said, we've had 2 very good years in Europe, but at West Ham United, hadn't had it regularly. Olympiacos is a serial European side, but I hope European football is a bit of a lucky charm for me in this group. Tomorrow is a very tough game, and we've made a good start to the group. And obviously, if we do win tomorrow, 3 wins in 3, 9 points, probably only maybe another win, and to guarantee first place, if not already after that win tomorrow possibly. Haven't done the maths personally. Asked about in-game chat. Obviously, Olympiacos is a very big, noisy stadium. Is it difficult when you're trying to communicate with your team at such a noisy stadium? And he says, as I'm getting older, my voice is going as well. You almost have to accept that it can be difficult to share that information. You do your best, and sometimes that's passing information to the nearest player, but it's tough. So Chinese whispers next tomorrow by the looks of it from Moyes. Asked about playing the opposition before. He's played the opposition before when he was at Man United, and he said it had, and in stadium it had a massive impact on the game. It's a big night, and I think it was one of the most disappointing nights at Manchester United. It's always tough going to Athens. Olympiacos will be a tough game. They're always in Europe, and they've got lots of experience. You have to embrace the challenge and enjoy it. As a football fan, you want big atmospheres. We certainly do, and it will be a massive atmosphere. And asked about the current opposition, he goes, we've spoken with Dinos about Olympiacos, and we know about their players. We know about Pedensk because of his time with Wolves. We've done as much as we can. We understand what we can. We have 2 games against them coming up now, and I'm sure we'll get to know each other over the next couple of games. And that was it. That was literally the Dave Moyes press conference. Team news? Yeah. Nothing. All about the Greece game. So that's all we've got. That's all we've got on that. But anyway, I thought we'd bring to you, as always. So check out these@mavropanos.com for the latest news. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the morning show, and then obviously the lunchtime show, and then we'll be doing all the watch-alongs leading up to the 5:45 kickoff. Don't forget. But don't forget, if you enjoy what we do, give it a like, comment, and share. Until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends, and come on, you bloody Irons. Irons.